Hi everybody, I apologise in advance. I promised that I would do a video no more than 5 minutes, but I might have to break that promise to talk about something that I've been asked to speak about. Anyway, but first off, oh, look at my hair, la la la, I love it, it kind of needs a wash now, but I love it so much. I got like 5 inches taken off it and brought it up to sort of a gingery colour, which is awesome, so yay. Let's start on a good note, but okay, so I put up on Facebook yesterday that Illamasqua made the boo-boo, and after the lime creme tobacco I wasn't quite sure how I felt about it. I got asked what the hell lime creme did, but I'll start off by telling you what Illamasqua has done. As probably everybody in the world ever knows, I'm a huge Illamasqua fan. I've got several of their lipsticks, I've got nail polishes, mascara, eyeliner, eyeshadow, foundation, pretty much across the range I have something of theirs. I even have blusher, which I never ever used to use. I now use blusher, you know. So I love them very much. I love everything they stand for. I love that they do they help out with the Sophie campaign. I just really enjoyed them until I found out what they had done yesterday. Well, I found out yesterday they didn't do it yesterday, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm rabbiting on. Basically, their Christmas campaign is called I'm Not Dreaming of a White Christmas, and they've got a model, 2 pictures of her. One, she is completely covered in white, and white hair, white hat, everything, and then the other completely covered in black. In a black suit, black top hat, black face. Black face. So, apparently it started off in Australia, that people were complaining about it, said it was very racist, and it was very, if even though it wasn't racist, it was very insensitive. So it gained momentum, went worldwide. A lot of people were very unhappy. I could see that that wasn't the intention. But when I read their response, I got really upset. It was very dismissive. Essentially, it boiled down to them saying, it's not our fault you're offended. There was loads of people saying, oh, some people will find race in anything, or other people were saying, well, I'm white and I wasn't offended by the white side of it. Even though she was like spooky white, I wasn't offended, so why should other people be offended about the black side? I'll tell you why. White people, historically, have not had as much shit to deal with as black people. They have not been ridiculed, subjected to violence and torn away from Africa, put into slavery, and up until what, 50, 60 years ago were still considered less than human. And even today they have these struggles. I spoke about this, as I say, with a lime crime campaign, which I'll go into in a second, but I'm so angry that there is still people who are not willing to even educate themselves as to why maybe this is something that they should be concerned about, and this is something that people have a right to be offended by. I'm not happy with Illamasqua's response. I might or might not stop buying for them. I've still got my head straight on it. I do wish that they would have just genuinely apologised and said, yes, it wasn't our intent, yes, we've taken on board the comments and suggestions that people have made, and let's move forward, because they do so much good stuff. They do so much about fighting prejudice, and this is a huge misstep for them. I can't believe that they have that great reputation about fighting prejudice and standing up for individuality, and refuse point blank to see that blackface, even though it's not in common use anymore, is still gravely offensive. Their blackface model may have not been made up to look like that, but it was so very, very evocative of it. I don't have the artwork to hand, but if you can look on the Illamasqua website or their Facebook page, you'll see it. Funnily enough, their cover page at this moment in time on the Facebook page is just of the white side of the model. So I don't know if they're going to maybe silently just take the black side out. I hope they do. I hope they come out with a better apology than that. I've already went over 5 minutes and I've not even started on Lime Crime, but it's just quite important to me as a brand that I regularly patronise and give more money than I have to. I really do wish that they had thought things a little bit through and realised that people do have a right to be offended by that. I probably will go into it in more detail another time, because it is something that not only interests me, but I feel like I should know more about, because I'm a white woman in a westernised city, in a westernised country, and yeah, I bitch about things all the time, but I've got it really, really good. I have, and I will never understand. I'm perfectly happy to empathise, but I can never understand what it's like to have to go through that. I read through an article the other day about a white woman who has Muslim friends, so she wore a scarf over her head one day to see how people would react, and the reaction, even from kids, was horrific. She was called a terrorist, she was ignored by sales staff when she went into the shop, it was horrible, and all because she had the scarf over her head. It's ridiculous. We as white people have something called white privilege, and we do have it. Yeah, there's different people like the Jewish and the Irish and loads of, these are the two that spring to mind, who have been marginalised, who have been hurt over the years, and it's not okay, and it's never been okay, but they've never been hurt and had violence against them and had their whole life completely dominated by the colour of their skin. They haven't. Maybe because of their culture, maybe because of their religion. Yes, I absolutely can agree with you. But people who are white do not get judged solely on on their skin, to the point where it is a detrimental effect to their lives. They don't. So I wish people would be a wee bit more aware. If you don't agree with me, fine, but I would at least ask you to educate yourself a little bit, to read these things, to read about white privilege, to read about people of colour, to read about what African descent people have been through, like African American, African British, or the one thing that really got me into this, of course, was Lime Crime, and also wrote at great length about this. Lime Crime, okay, we're 8 minutes in. Sorry. Right, Lime Crime was started by a woman named Zina. Lime Crime was originally her brand as a fashion designer. She'd done some outfits and things like that. She was also a member of a band called Sky Salt, which is why I first got into her during the MySpace days. I heard her band play and I thought it was quite sweet. It was sort of like, it wasn't oh my god amazing, which is probably why you've never heard of them, but it was like sort of fairy tale goth rock, and it was really sweet and I liked listening to it. It was the MySpace days, I was still a massive goth. But I got into that, and then I found out through MySpace that she'd done makeup tutorials. Like, she'd put a picture of her makeup up, and then underneath in a blog post would tell how she did it. She got quite popular that way as well, because her makeup was usually Kryolan, which was Amazing Bright. Ironically, Kryolan supply Illamasqua as a wee link up for you. They were really pretty and I really enjoyed it. She seemed to have this sort of really sweet demeanour, very sort of she was very let me think, she looked like she came across as she was really enjoying her life, she was really happy, blah blah blah. I didn't think there was going to be anything bad about her. This is before I found out about the whole internet celebrity and then haters and all the rest of it. Haters did not become part of my vocabulary at this point. I just knew her as this person who done makeup and was quite pretty and really sweet, and she interacted with her fans quite a lot, you know, so I got into that. So when I found out she was doing a makeup brand and also calling it Lime Crime, I was excited. I was really excited. I was really pleased for her. I was really proud that she came and done all these things. Like, she was in the bands, she tried to do some solo things, she changed her look constantly. I found out the reason for that later, of course, and now she was starting her own makeup brand. So I promised I was going to support her, I was going to buy stuff, it was going to be awesome. And the trouble started, I believe, when did I first figure out there was something not quite right? On her website, or her blogazine, she said that she was going to give money to charity. There was a campaign thing, a competition. If you bought X amount, she would give some to charity. And she didn't. She lied. It's more or less been proven, I believe, by other bloggers that she took that money that she raised and went on honeymoon to Disneyland. And there was another point where she stole a leather jacket from an airport instead of giving it in to she made fun about it, and instead of having handed it in to Lost and Found, she just took it and then tried to defend herself when people were going, that's not right, you should have handed it in, and then just deleted any mention of it. So then there was loads of these comments about this leather jacket and other people were going, what are you talking about? That's when I discovered she was a big fan of deleting things. So I got a tweet when I was still tweeting quite often. I got a tweet from this girl. I have no idea who she is or what or anything, but she warned me about Xena, and she was a scammer and she was this and she was that, and I'm like, what? No, hang on a second. But something stuck with me and I checked it out. I wrote in Google. It doesn't do it so much now, I don't think, because there's loads of stuff happened since, and you know. But when I typed in Lime Crit, just the CR, this big load of suggestions came up, and it was Lime Crime scam, Lime Crime controversy, Lime Crime lying, Lime Crime, all negative suggestions. And I thought, where do I start? So I hit Lipsticks and Lightsabers website, which is at this moment defunct. Well, not defunct. Anna from Lipsticks and Lightsabers hasn't blogged for over a year now, but all the stuff about Lime Crime is still there, so if you want to have a look, go have a look. That's when I thought, oh dear Lord. I mean, I'd not long made another order from Lime Crime and I felt like a fool because I should have brought this stuff. I've still got some of it that I never ever use. You know that way where you buy something, you don't like it, but you're loath to throw it away because you paid for it? Yeah, that's why my Lime Crime's still sitting there. Yeah, the dusts, the eyeshadow dusts, were essentially pigments from TBK that you can buy in bulk, and she was basically making a 400% markup on these, and not putting in much in the way of primer, not putting in any mica, the stuff that makes the eyeshadow actually stick to your eyes. She put up a video about the haters, about the fact that she actually does her own makeup, and it was quite good timing because she decided to use the eyeshadow called Twilight just after the whole Twilight. The first one came out, so it was everywhere on Facebook, YouTube. So she made a good search one, I guess. So she done that, and people were saying that she was being unsanitary. The way she was mixing the colours, she said, this is the way I've mixed my colours, this is the way I've mixed my colours all the time. It was unsanitary, it was unsafe, And then again, I think that video came very quickly down. People were saying, no, you're not doing it right. At this moment in time, I could go into it loads and loads and loads, but we're already 3 times as large as I promised I was going to be at 15 minutes. I've had my own personal issues, but I'm not going to get into that right now. I just don't want to. Basically, she's done far, far more harm without me mentioning any of that. Oh, and I've got pins and needles. She's also obsessed with Amy of Sugarpill. She says she's not, but she really, really is. She decided to announce her makeup brand after Amy announced hers. Now, Amy took about 1.5 years then to perfect Sugarpill, and it was time well spent because her brand, her entire makeup range is absolutely fantastic. I have never ever heard anything bad about it or her. She's like the consummate businesswoman, but she's had to deal with Zena trying to grab her coattails at every opportunity. Again, this is something you can find out if you go to Do Dear Lies, or if you go to, there's an Examiner interview that was conducted I think about 4 years ago. It now has over 215 pages of comments because people go there to talk about all the stuff that had happened, and over the years there's been loads and loads of controversy, let me tell you. Zena herself has been known to drop by and troll basically, especially if she feels like she's not getting enough attention. Right, so bringing it back to why I was talking about Alaska and Lime Crime, the biggest thing that really got me, and I wrote about it at great length. Oh, this is so bad. I hate when you get pins and needles in just one foot. It's really annoying. Lime Crime released a palette at the beginning of the year called China Doll. Now, there was a few people who said, don't think so, that's a bit, I don't understand why you're doing that, why you're calling it China Doll. It could have just been China Doll as in China, the porcelain, but she came out with her campaign, which was this white woman dressed up as a ridiculous version of a geisha basically, wearing Lime Crime makeup, which was really heavily photoshopped. Oh god, this is really annoying. People complained, of course. People complained and they said that it's offensive to Asian women. This whole concept of the China Doll, if you look it up, is someone who is submissive, subservient, but basically a whore in bed. She's the meek wife who is the whore in bed, the tigress. Now some of these, like the tigress and she may look meek and subservient sort of thing. Some of this some of these words were used in the campaign. It didn't say she was a tigress in bed, she was a tigress, but the intention was there, the inflection was there, and it was very not subtly implied that that's what she was talking about. So people complained, yeah, people did complain a lot, and they says we want you to take that sort of down, and why you've got fans all over the world, why do you have to use a white woman dressed up to be a ridiculous looking geisha? And the whole, I mean, there was loads and loads, and some people were quite mean about it. I can't say that we were all sort of understanding and like, oh right, okay, but this is a bit unfair, do you know that? Some people were really, really horrible about it. Other people, more specifically Maya, I want to say Maya, I'll put her website below. She herself is of Asian descent, and she tried and tried and tried to get through to Zena. Zena finally said yes to an interview of sorts, and then didn't get back to Maya for ages. She eventually got back to her and says, what's going on? And she went, no, I've changed my mind, basically. Just totally blew her off, but tried to give her free makeup, or I think, because Maya had said, I am not going to accept makeup from her. That was just after she was like, no, I'm not interested anymore. I think she was going to try and win her over by giving her makeup, I don't know. So yeah, she completely disregarded any people that were saying this is wrong, this is offensive, blah blah blah. She seemed to thrive on it, basically. She seemed to thrive on the publicity. And that is what really got me into talking about and reading about this whole white privilege, cultural appropriation, all that sort of thing. Like, the people, it seems, that are most affected by this cultural appropriation is the Chinese, or just people of Asian descent, because some people can't bloody tell the difference. And Native Americans, they are hugely appropriated all the time, especially just over Halloween. There was a lot of things happening. There was a whole campaign called This Is Not Who I Am and It's Not Okay, and it was like people of that descent having a picture of somebody dressed in drag, basically, in their cultural drag, and people are offended, and people have a right to be offended. And no, I'm not going to get into it right now because it's a whole different video. I'm here to talk about Lime Crime. Lime Crime are nasty people, person. She lies constantly. She paints herself out, literally, to be this picture perfect, model-esque person who is a unicorn queen and friend to everybody. But when you scratch a little beneath the surface, you'll find that's not true. I did, and I felt like a total fool for being taken in for so many years. But I'm glad I know now, and like I say, I have written about it before, but to do this video and to actually talk to people who are my friends who are into Lime Crime, please don't buy from them. There are loads and loads and loads of indie brands out there who are fantastic. Sugar Pill being one of them, that you don't really need to buy from them. They now get all their stuff from a sort of wholesaler. They don't make their own colours, they've never made their own colours. They get their stuff from a place called New Look Cosmetics. Again, this is easily researchable. There's 2 other brands that I'm aware of that also use the same wholesaler and do the same colours, and that's Jessie's Girl and Kiora. It's Kiora. It's K-A comma O-I-R. They do like more of the wild lipsticks that Lime Crime is known for as well, and they do it so much cheaper. Their customer service is much better. They don't go mental at you. Yeah, so they're cheaper for the exact same product in different packaging, basically, because that's all that happens, is that Zena makes a phone call, says this is how many I want, and then it gets sent to her using her packaging. That's it. There is absolutely no creative process in there whatsoever. She just says what she wants. New Look makes it and ships it out to her, and then she then ships it out to her customers at a vastly and grossly inflated rate. So don't waste your money, because if you do want the colours, there are dupes out there. There are dupes aplenty. There is a dupes it's not a website, it's more a spreadsheet that Dodie Lies at Tumblr has made up. She's spent hours and hours and hours putting together this list, because you can look at the colours and say, oh, they're lovely, but you don't really want to buy from them. You don't have to. There's plenty out there. Zena made a big deal about the fact that she was the best and brightest, and she's not. She was saying, oh, it's cosmetics is made by men who want to see us in beige, and no, this sort of generation, it's bigger and bigger and bigger, getting more bright stuff. I mean, bright makeup's always been a part of the trade, but it's never been more accessible, and you don't need to buy from her just to get it. I have a lipstick, for instance, Retro Futurist. It's a lovely red. It smells really funny, probably because it's that old now. It sweats, it's always sweated, and when I had it on, I had it on for a couple of hours, took it off, and my lips were stained pink, and they were really, really dry for days afterwards. I had to keep on slathering on the lip balm. I said that was a problem, and it was like, basically I was told, oh, that's just what happens when you've got such great payoffs, great colour payoff. No, I've got great colour payoff at my La Masca lipsticks, and they don't stain my body lips. So basically, yeah, any problems are usually ignored, deleted, or downright denied. All their things are photoshopped, and they are vastly overpriced. So this is, God, going on 25 and a half minutes. Right, I'm going to go now. I will put the websites that I've mentioned in the box below. Please visit them, please educate yourself, and please find somewhere else to shop, basically, because please, please, please do not support this woman. She's a scam artist. She has always been a scam artist, she always will be a scam artist, and the more people that know about it, the better. I'm done. Mwah! I'm out. Bye.